Hello, Libra North Node. This is Samara, your Feminist Alchemist. Welcome to your reading for May 2022. I don't have my studio or recording light on. I much prefer natural light in general, so we'll see. But if it gets difficult to see the cards, if they're too blurry or just too dark, then I'll turn the light on. So Libra North Node, this is a general reading, so not all the messages will resonate with everybody. Just take what strikes a chord with you and let the rest float away to whoever else in your Libra North Node collective needs to hear that message at this time. If you are feeling this reading, give it a like, a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when I upload. This is a North Node reading, so it's not for any other major placement, only for the North Node. If you're not sure what your North Node sign is, you can check my website, which I have linked in the description box below, to a North Node chart that has a list of dates and placements for the North Node over the last, I think, 100 years or so. And what else have I put down there? I also linked a video, short info video describing how my spirit guides explain the North Node placement to me. And I've also linked a fully detailed video by YouTube astrologer Astro Finesse, and he goes into depth about what it means to have your North Node in Libra. Oh yes, and there's also a link where you can run your birth chart if you want to do that. And with that, let's get started. I've pre-shuffled your cards and set the space. I was actually just kind of chilling out and taking a break from recording earlier in the day, and then I realized I still feel like reading. But I needed to take a break from earlier in the day. It was raining a lot, so it was pretty dark and I had to use the light even though it was daytime. And I'm not a big fan of artificial light. It's I have sensitivity in my eyes to it. So, yes, Libra North Node, what are your universal energies at this time? They want this separate, it feels like. And they want that the other way around. So right now I'm using Return of Spirit by Cheryl Lee Harnish. No, change that. Okay. Return of Spirit by Cheryl Lee Harnish. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. I usually use Path of the Soul by Cheryl Lee Harnish at the beginning, but this time Return of Spirit was the more appropriate choice, and I would like to acknowledge the presence of members of the Council of Earth who are really the reason why I do these readings, North Node readings. Like, why North Node readings? Don't ask me. Well, I do know why, but in a nutshell, because I was asked to. And the Earth Council always has a hand in what comes through in terms of information and messages, but this time it's a little bit more intense, and their presence is more intense and more direct, let's say. So I just want to acknowledge that. And because of that, there's also, towards the end, I will also pull some cards to determine to give you some information on your soul's path. Okay, so what do we have for you? We have Violet Flame. Energy of transmutation is in your environment, your energetic sphere. It's being directed towards you. And you have the opportunity to capitalize on this energy, take full advantage of this energy. It's interesting because usually so I did a previous reading and birthing came before caretaker because, you birth something and then you take care of it. But I'm getting here that you are the caretaker of a birthing process, and you may do that through writing. Now this is not even the soul path part of the reading, but it feels that that is one way of interpreting, or if this way that this energy is coming through. The other way that these energies are working together is that you have a deep transmutation process available to you. Some of it will happen whether you want it to or not, but ultimately it's your choice whether or not you're going to go along with it smoothly or be dragged kicking and screaming. And caretaker, there's a vibe of you needing to take extra care of yourself because this transmutation is so profound. And there's the vibe of you being taken care of, like you're seeing caretakers pop up in your life, and they may not even be people like you may find someone looking out for you. I don't know if you're running for a bus or you're short on some cash at the grocery store, or there's energies coming into your life that give you comfort, that will be giving you comfort, because I have the feeling that internally there's going to be turmoil because of something that needs to be birthed. And there's two things. This is pre-written. It's written that it will happen. It's almost, let's call it a predestined time. And the other is that you may find a lot of comfort in recording your experience through writing, and also allowing yourself to get messages through writing, like automatic writing, for example. Okay, let me check with your 5D self. So this is your higher self, your fifth chakra, the throat chakra. Yeah, this is your higher self, a version of yourself that's kind of already expanded and is very well aware of all of these energies that are working with your 3D self, or to reach your 3D self. And they're sending you messages, synchronicities, signs, what areas of your life you're going to need to work on or focus on in the next while for your highest good, to put these energies to the best use for your growth and your healing. Originality, soul time, belief, duality is there. No, that's it. Okay. Or is it? Ooh, yeah. Okay. There's two more. So we have duality, and then here we have the root chakra and the second chakra. So these are two decks that I've mixed together. Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle and the Sacred Geometry of Relationship. So that's why this one says root chakra, but these ones are numbered second and fifth because some of the cards are in both decks. The chakra cards, for example. You got a lot of chakras going on all around your caretaker. Wow. Interesting. You have a very unique voice, Libra North Node. So it's and you have the ability to create worlds through your voice. So you may have a very creative or unique point of view, unique way of writing, unique way of expressing yourself. And your soul seems to have very deep wisdom that needs to come out. So if you stifle your originality or your voice to fit in, know that fitting in does not mean sacrificing your originality. Your soul has its own unique frequency and its own unique expression, and that contributes to the greater fabric of your community, of your life, of every aspect where people come into contact with you. So it's a time to acknowledge and really be curious about the nature of your soul. And belief is coming through as a believing that how it's made, it's how it's supposed to be, right? Not trying to change anything. Although you have this line of transmutation coming on, but it feels like it's to strip away anything that is masking your originality. Because you see the fifth chakra and originality both have a lot of blue. Here, like this is the most interesting and cohesive color cycle, or at least how I'm seeing it for the first time vividly, which means it's significant that these blues, these two come to blue, these two come to purple, and then these two come to, this is blue and this is the red and the orange, and it matches here. And this comes up for you often. I feel this, the Aries Libra polarity for me is coming up often as this balancing of, can I be diplomatic in the group, but also be trailblazing or a leader in my own way? Because as a Libra North Node, you have likely assembled some experiences where being like forceful and fiery and trying to blaze a trail it leaves you unfulfilled and may actually, I don't want to say damage, but yeah, it's kind of damage your relationships, your working relationships and your partnerships. So you may have tried to temper that completely by kind of losing some of your originality, but they're saying the art of the balance is not in dampening, it's in accepting that you need to combine both the fiery elements and the watery elements, even though Libra is air. Right. But and the throat chakra is the air element. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have the fire element. earth element and the air element. And duality also does not necessarily mean that you're going to find a way to be both simultaneously. You may find yourself navigating the moments when you can lead and the moments where you should pull back. Because remember that first impression from the first 4 cards that came out, there was this, you may not be the person who births the idea, but you're definitely like the caretaker of, you help a lot of people get to that point, and you may support them in getting to that point. Life coaching, consulting, or you write certain books and articles that guide and support a lot of people, and you don't even get to see face to face most of the people that you influence. Because the root in the second chakra is saying that you need to embrace all aspects of yourself, even those that others may find too assertive, too aggressive, too, somehow offensive, or you seem to, if you're a loud personality, for example, and you tend to take over a room, there is a way to embody that without being completely removed or unaware of how that may affect people. If you are very intense, mysterious type, that your penetrating gaze makes people uncomfortable, and you instead of dumbing that down, your depth and your intensity, how can you embrace that and then also be approachable and have people feel comfortable around you? So this is about your coping mechanism should not be dumbing down or watering down. Maybe that's why the water element is not here. Watering yourself down. Yeah. So they're taking me on this journey of the second chakra, because the second chakra to me is, I guess it's debatable, and I'm sure there's many books that say exactly what element it is. I can't remember which books I've read that said which element it is, but I always get water for one, but I do get fire in it as well. And possibly simply because of the color. And also from certain meditations when they, tell you to see a fire kind of blazing in below your navel. So without saying that anything is right or wrong, or just from the feeling that they're giving me from looking at the second chakra, it has yes, the water element, but it has a burst of new life. So there is an element in May of your new self being birthed. Your new self is being birthed, a new version of yourself. But the new version of yourself is really just a more grounded, authentic version of yourself. And that may be the rebirthing of yourself is why you need a caretaker. Caretakers, because this birthing process of yourself is, think about it. That doesn't sound like an easy process, so obviously it's not. on your Temperance. 3D, what's going on in your physical reality that are opportunities for your soul expansion. So this is speaking to your month of May. This is the Star Child Tarot by Danielle Noel. All of the decks that I'm using today are linked in the description box. And I think all of them except for this deck that I'm shuffling right now are affiliate links. Ooh. Okay, so, and this is not the full deck that I'm using. I just pulled the major arcana and it has some bonus cards in there that I pulled out as well. But it is, when you buy it, a full tarot deck. When I see the Temperance card here, I see, I saw singing, like angelic singing, angels singing. So you may sing. Or have very inspired writings. Whether they're song, lyrics, poetry, or prose. Very inspired writing. It seems like something is on hold for you at the moment. I see you almost frozen in time. In a holding pattern at the moment. But it's because of this birthing. So I'm getting the still in the womb, still in the belly of the flames, is what they're saying to me. And so as the High Priestess, I see there would be a lot of, it feels like, internal work, grounding work, and getting into your physical form. It looks like May will be quite an emotional month. And it could feel like frustration or nothing is going right for you. Because some of the structures that you've built at your most basic foundation are being reconfigured. And they're being reconfigured because your new transmuted self needs a different support system, let's say. So you have the opportunity with perspective to either freak out or understand what is actually occurring is this birthing process, and how your perspective changes or whatever your perspective is from hour to hour, day to day, will determine how easily you pass through this transition. With the transformation card and the Chariot, the more you allow the transformation to happen, the easier the transformation will be, like the faster it will go by. So if you fight the transmutation, you will actually extend the discomfort, because this is all coming by soul time, which is are you allowing this new reality of yours to emerge? Writing is a good way of letting this transformation through. I'm going to keep coming back to the writing card because they keep sending me there. All right, so that is your 3D situation. We're going to ask how to navigate this situation for your highest good at this time. How can you make the most out of these opportunities? I have a card that flew away that I have to pick up. This goes here. No, sorry. It goes there. This is the Wild Unknown Tarot by, who's it by? Kim Krantz. Okay, so there we go. How can you best navigate this situation? Or navigate the month of May, period. You have the Daughter of Pentacles in reverse. I'll just go through all of them first, and then you have the Six of Swords. I always have to look to see if I see the handles. Swords. Six of Swords. We have these look like wands. Yes. The Six of Wands, but in the reverse. And then you have the Three of Pentacles and number 13, the Death card. Okay, so I hope you could hear me okay, because my mic keeps moving further and further from my face. So the Daughter of Pentacles in reverse is saying that it's time to get out of your own way. And making yourself smaller for other people, meaning, or acting, I'm getting there's a lack of investment in your talents. It's almost like not acknowledging the full capacity of your talents for fear of outshining others, or for fear of rocking the boat, or losing friends, or whatnot. It could be a different set of fears, but that's the one that is coming up to me. But I am getting this kind of belittling yourself. And this is something that needs to end. Because you will keep getting situations. The lesson will keep coming your way until you kind of figure it out. And dumbing yourself down is not figuring it out. So they're saying you just need to be who we put you here to be. basically, or who you came as. The Six of Swords is, be willing to take the journey and be willing to think differently about everything. This reading is becoming like less specific and more energetic overview, if you will. Because the Chariot is about a journey. The Six of Swords is usually showing a boat. And moving forward, and transformation could be physical, could be emotional, could be mental, it could be all of them. So I'm feeling that they want you to go along for the ride and mentally, like intellectually, allow yourself to be flexible about what you believe and if those beliefs serve you. Once again, writing could help you sort these things out. They keep showing me belief in duality, which is down, these two down here, belief in duality. Right now, everything is on your side for this transformation happening and this transmutation. The emerging is happening. It's not happening this month, but it's happening. And I'm getting that you don't need to do. It's not about doing, although you have two, root or lower chakra cards that usually indicate, action for me. I'm getting rest and contemplation is more important than anything else in the month of May, because your underlying belief system is being shaken up. And they're showing me this mountain. The Three of Pentacles. You may not be going through this transition alone. And so the Three of Pentacles is also, like, if you look at them, the pentacles in the picture, one is red, like your root chakra card. One is, well, this is probably more yellow than orange, but this is the colors of the chakras. And they want you to know that claiming your independence, your power, your leadership, this, whatever it is that you're kind of tempering to fit the mold that you've created for yourself, that there's actually a whole really abundant structure that is available to you once you step into, like, all of the people are also going to fall into place for you, and you will work more collaboratively without you needing to make concessions for people, or, it's more about navigating relationships than about changing yourself to make things easier for other people or to make situations easier. So, like, they're giving me the impression of once again, a person. You are who you are, but how you deal with people, you don't have to change who you are, but you can change how you communicate with people, for example. If you need a lot of alone time, there's one thing to get annoyed when people, talk to you when you're reading or somehow disturb you, but it's another thing to say, hey, I'm off today, or I need some me time today because I really want to dedicate myself to some writing, so my phone is off. So don't call me, or send me a text message and I will get back to you when I take a break and look at my phone. Like this kind of thing, right? So you're the same person who needs time to yourself, but you have a style of communicating that allows people to give you what you need. And I'm seeing here that you need to, this transformation is likely not in the area of your life that you have been doing it up to now. There's another area that is going to go through a rebirth. And it seems that it has to do with a lot of your beliefs around how to deal with group situations or fit into a family, community. Yeah. Okay. Where are we? Oh, let's look at your soul's purpose. See, for me, my brain works faster without the light on because I'm way faster through this reading than, not that I want you to get a fast reading, Libra North Node, but I feel more clear in my mind, put it that way. So the messages come quicker. So we have the Four of Wands, which is very much about community, family, celebration, home. I may have to turn on the light because it's getting kind of dark, isn't it? It's a rainy day, overcast. I think there may be, yep, that's it. And they want it in reverse. So I'm using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris N, which is one of my favorite decks. I mean, I can almost say that about every deck I use, but but it is seriously one of my go-to decks. So we have the Four of Wands, as I said. Your soul's purpose, making happy places. Libra North Node, you are meant to be in communities with groups of people and creating happy, joyful portals anchored into, different places or a place. For this reason, it feels very stable. It doesn't feel like you're floating around to a lot of different, because some cards or some signs get like, you're kind of a floater everywhere you go. You create, you anchor light, and then you move on. This one feels more long term. The Two of Swords, though, is sometimes you'll feel like you could do no right, because if you also look at her arm, she also has a scale on there. Weighing options. And I feel like there's a lot of times that you won't understand people's reaction to you. So this is a big overarching, what are themes that are common between all of you who are drawn to this reading. Libra North Node, what is your soul's purpose? What are the commonalities? So obviously there's only so much that I can say that will apply to the broadest collection of people. And I'm seeing wanting to be fair, so not wanting to be judgmental, but in that, like, almost having trouble coming to a decision at all. Right? And this can leave you feeling misunderstood. This is also, the Two of Swords I was saying, like, you may not understand why people take you the way they do when you don't mean it that way. And you may feel locked out from abundant. I'm seeing it's less about financial in this case and more like you feel locked out of those relationships that turn into abundance and joy. And it's also because you seem to be able to speak into being a lot of truth that maybe people don't want to hear. So that could be very well why it's you get this feeling, right? But what you have to say is things that people need to hear. So you could also be, I'm getting the vibe that you are, as much as there are people that you actually support through their birthing process, there are people, though, that you just trigger into a birthing process, and you may never be there to see how that turns out. And I know it could be a maddening place, right? It's like, I was sent to this world to trigger people, and then nobody likes me for it. However, there will be some who do like you for it. And love you for it, no less, right? With the 10 of Swords and the 7 of Cups in reverse. With the 10 of Swords, I'm getting this nostalgia and also letting go of anybody who did not, who you didn't understand, who made you feel, singled out, who made you feel like the villain when all you were doing is trying to help, or, you're just really motivated and really inspired, and it turned into being, pushy, right? And I'm getting someone like who, because of your ability to see things from a higher perspective or see things for what they are that other people don't see and don't want to hear about, that you actually would write very interesting, very insightful, like philosophical type texts as well. Blogs, musings, philosophy, what's the meaning of life, kind of stuff, which is also good for if you're into fiction and do storytelling. So I'm sorry if you're out there and you don't write or you're not into writing. They're saying that even if you don't feel called to be a writer, writing the stories for this community, because you have the ability to see and you're almost an oracle for everything that is to come. That's something that comes with its own burden. And the burden is kind of, I don't want to say the 7 of Cups is the burden. But it also, Yeah, it's a little bit of tempering the fact that you may see a train wreck coming and feel the responsibility to say something, and you say something and they don't take your advice and their train wreck comes anyway. So, but you bite your nails and trying to get that person to really take your advice. So witnessing other people's train wrecks is part of your burden. I'm sorry. But you can avoid yours. Yes, you can. And you can celebrate with them when they do something. So this to me, like, I'm feeling some of you may be called to or are in like some type of coaching, consulting, therapist, counseling, counseling. That's another C. Yeah. Because there's a vibe of helping people become who they're supposed to become. And if you're doing that, you may be very successful in the future of writing a book about the topic that you specialize in, or like case studies of the people that you help, or drawing from those client experiences and creating a self-help type of book. Don't shy away from writing. That is my point. Because you have a lot to say and a lot of insight, and sometimes you're not going to get that reciprocated by the people. So you need a place for it. You need a place for all your good advice and all of your intuitive gifts. And if you can't find it, out in your everyday interactions, then writing and putting it out for people who want that, who are seeking that knowledge, will give you that sense of fulfillment that you don't get in other places, right? Because I feel like this lady here is like, I have so much to give, but so it's not that she doesn't have anything. It's like, it's almost like she doesn't have anyone who wants it, or anyone to give it to. And they don't value her currency. So put the currency in a book and exchange it for energy elsewhere. So this, I'm pulling final oracles from 2 different decks. This one is the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. And for this one, I will read directly from the guidebook. We have card 14, Focus, which, for me has a reflection of the 7 of Cups in reverse there. Where's the guidebook? There it is. So I will read directly from the guidebook for this one. Try to hold this close. There we go. Okay, so this card is Waxing Gibbous 5. Focus. You must focus on the task at hand right now. There is no room for a scattergun approach. Put on the blinkers and do not listen to gossip or negative people. If you make a mistake, it is your mistake to make. Do not waste your focus. Do not split your attention in too many pieces. And the affirmation, I have laser-like focus that serves me well. What we place our focused attention on matters. Placing our undivided focus on something means we are more likely to take action on it. We are more likely to finish something we wish to complete if we focus on it. We are more likely to plan and succeed in our achievements should we take the time to focus on how. Even something as simple as eating a meal is more enjoyable if we take time to focus on just that, eating and all of its sensory rewards. What hinders focus? Diversion, and it is often diversions we set for ourselves or that we allow. When we are afraid of our own growth or greatness, we may procrastinate. We might place drama in our own way. We may even focus on everyone except ourselves and never have the time to do things the things we set for ourselves. Our heart's desires, therefore, never come to us. We might allow the opinions of others to get in the way, letting the criticisms and values of others affect us. This is useless. We need to forget about the gossip or opinions of others, about what our society says. Instead, turn your focus to you and what you are doing. Pay attention to you. You. We need to focus instead on what feels so deeply good to us, what we really want and what we want to place our laser-like focus upon, and soon it will be ours. The companion stone or metal is carnelian. So it's interesting, as I said, always with the Libra and Aries polarity, there's such a delicate balance between, balancing the scales and being a part of, being a more of a diplomatic personality, let's say, and being yourself, right? And letting people fall into line with that without overstepping boundaries, like making space for everyone else to show up in their own way as well. But this for you in the month of May is really about finding where you want to shine. This butterfly, it's like, what is going into that butterfly? Because, I just noticed, they just showed it to me. So let me hold these cards for you. Look at the two butterflies mirroring each other. Right, because this card was in the reverse. And then, so really focus on what it is you want to develop, what you want to flourish in you, and just what feels good to you, like, and not caring about who's toes you step on or who is unhappy with the way you're living your life, because you are that way for a reason. You are the way you are for a reason. And you deserve every chance to be everything that you came here to be. I'm going to get two messages from the guides. This deck is by James Van Praagh. It has a guidebook with it, but I usually just read directly what's on the card and let that chime out your reading. So I hope it wasn't too dark for you guys, because this is really much better for my brain. Candlelight reading. Live your bliss. That's the first card. Is there another message for Libra North Node? Yes, there is. Know your truth, and they want the card at the bottom of the deck too. Be yourself. Yay! So, that was lovely, Libra North Node. I hope that this reading resonated with you. Check out my new monthly series, Grounding into Gaia, that has a channeled message from our lovely Mother Earth and a pick a card reading based on it. And other than that, I will see you next month. And until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.